Hi, I'm Supermoon Tarot, and today I'm talking to my Sagittariuses. Hello, Sagittarius. How are you doing today? Now, the way this is going to work is I have felt inspired this week to do specifically the topic of whatever is the most important message you need to hear right now. Now, this is for my Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's just about the message resonating. So let's get started. I already shuffled the cards, and I'm being told by my spirit guides to pull 3 cards first and then 5. I'm glad they said 5. That Knight of Pentacles needs some clarity for me. Okay, let's see what's going on. Oh, we've got a snake in the garden. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, this is specifically about somebody in your life. So we have this dynamic going on that are, I want you to focus on these top 3 first. So these 2 concepts are very similar, but in one scenario we have over here you being really giving, you're trying to I have a feeling this is potentially something to do with a person of the past. Hold on, my spirit guides are talking. I'm getting a no. I'm going to just throw that out there, but they're telling me no. The point is, maybe it's this idea of holding on to the past. Either way, you're being generous, you're being nice, you're trying to do the right thing, you're feeling very compelled. Maybe there's a sense of cherishing, there's a sense of wanting to see other people do well. Whatever it is, when we're talking about generosity, we're not just talking about physically giving things like money. This could be energy. Maybe you're staying up with them, listening to all their problems, your emotions, advice, whatever that may be. In this scenario, unfortunately, there is a taking advantage of sort of vibe. And we can extend upon that concept even more, and it does not look good. But don't worry, we can get into specifics, and we want to point out these distractions in order to get you in a better situation. And then in the other element, we have still this great nature of being very generous and giving in this kind of way, and just naturally loving life by loving others openly and unabashedly. And this is something about you that should not change. I just want to be clear. It's being repeated twice. It's a very important characteristic you should maintain despite other people's actions. But in this card, this is somebody who knows how to set boundaries. They know how to say, well, that's really nice that you want something from me, but it's 10 o'clock at night and I'm gonna go, hang out, watch some TV and go to bed. I understand you need me now, but I also have a schedule. And even knowing when maybe to stop talking to someone and realizing you're not a bad person because somebody else has a problem respecting your time and energy and boundaries. Either way, they don't stop being generous and kind, specifically you, but they know when to cut people out, they know when to say when, and therefore they feel they have enough energy to always continuously give because it's never being taken advantage of, and they do not feel guilty by setting these boundaries, which is really beautiful. Now, the thing that got me confused initially is the Knight of Pentacles. As you can see, they are moving away from that more selfish nature that is disguised, I want to be clear here, disguised is a key word when we have this situation going on over here. It's disguised as like, you're having a great time. This other person wants you to think as you give them everything, and we're using this as in a very broad term. We gave our examples. As you give them everything, they are thinking, yeah, this is so nice. We're having fun, right? We're bonding. We're friends. Little do you know, you're like, I'm always listening to them. I'm always giving them my time and energy. When do we get to talk about what I want to talk about? You see what I'm saying? And they're distracting you, being like, yeah, you're such a good person. Look over here. Don't ask those questions. And it seems like you're changing course naturally and figuring out that within yourself where you really would like to go. But it's being slowed down actively. And I wanted to be clear about, is there someone else doing it? Yes, this person is aware you're changing course, and they are doing whatever they can to slow you down and pull you away from changing because they don't want you to change. That's a red flag if I do say so myself. So we can get specific over here. So here they're represented in the Nine of Cups. They're holding everything. They're the only one benefiting, and they have no interest in changing. So if you have in the slightest bit of hope, I don't get the vibe you do, you seem very intelligent, you are aware that they are somebody who doesn't want to budge. Like they're like, yep, I'm happy. I don't want to change. I don't want to compromise and sometimes talk about, I'm happy with how it is and I want to keep it that way. And there's almost a sense of like, don't take one of my cups. And one of the cups would be the representation of like you taking back your time, or you're taking back your energy and you're going, well, I'm going to have some time alone. And they're like, no, that's mine. And you're like, no, it's not. And this is what then causes what's going on over here, essentially. In the Five of Wands, there's this sort of enticing energy that you keep engaging with. And that includes negative emotions that I do see kind of starting to bubble to the surface. They can get a reaction out of you that you want to defend, possibly go back and be like, no, actually, I am a good person, or blah, blah, blah. The point is, whatever they seem like they're pulling you into, if you're aware that they're not going to budge on their viewpoint and they're just saying something so that you will react and defend yourself, understand that that's not going anywhere. It's to keep you in a constant state of like reacting to them, and then therefore giving more of your energy, essentially. They don't care how they're going to get your time and attention. They're going to find a way to make it essentially happen. So anyways, that being the case, we want to not have that happen. And then over here we have the Nine of Swords. This is you feeling really overwhelmed by them and starting to, in your personal life, feel unnecessarily anxious in a way you can't quite describe. And again, it is pointing towards them. They are the culprit. They see that you're upset and they don't really care. As long as they get what they want, again, we talk about time, energy, and emotion, that's all they care about. So then we have the last, another confirmation of the whole, like them tricking you, whatever, and where you want to go and the warnings, essentially, to fix this situation. So in the Strength card, this is you being aware of how you feel off, especially confidence-wise. Sometimes the Strength card does relate to energy. I am being told it doesn't in this situation. If you're interested in energy, I actually just posted a video all about this concept, how it can get confused for your emotions. I even did a pick a card reading about it, so if you're interested in that way, it's totally there hanging out for you. But in this case, it's you kind of being like, okay, let me find myself, let me find my footing, let me feel confident about the decisions I'm making, what I'm doing, feeling on top of it. This is when you feel like you speak and then you don't regret immediately what you're saying, and it's showing that you're feeling off because of them, and you're aware of that, and you're just kind of pulling back and regrouping, essentially. And with the Page of Cups, this is again them enticing. Hi, you want to hang out? Hey, I have this cool concept, this cool idea. You don't want to be left out, do you? And again, it's just this enticing thing that doesn't go anywhere. I can see with the Page of Cups in reverse, it is insincere. They don't really want to hang out with you in the way you were hoping that would be a mutual friendship where you care about each other's feelings and so on and so forth. They just want and are obsessed, I will take it that far, to say they are just obsessed with getting what they want the way they want it. So essentially, whenever they see you sort of regrouping and feeling cool and stable, it immediately makes them aware that they feel like they are without your time and energy. As long as they have it, they feel better. This is a bit on a subconscious level they make these choices. It's pretty conscious, I will point this out, but there is a subconsciousness to them reacting this way. And when they do, they will offer these things to you because they're noticing you're feeling good. So essentially, you're being suggested to stop taking their offers. Honestly, I'm all about free will and making your own decisions. So on one hand, I'm not trying to tell you what to do or anything like that, especially with the cards. But let's just say, red flag, this friend is maybe not, this person maybe isn't worth it, essentially. And you should instead focus on regrouping. You are meant to be someone who is still able to express themselves in this very loving, openly expressive, generous way, as we talked about before. But by regrouping, you are able to think more clearly and be that healthy mindset of being able to set boundaries, knowing when to say when, not compromising who you are at the same time. And so if you need some time alone in general, that would be fine. But it's about understanding that anything they're offering right now does not bear any fruit, and it's a trick, and you should be aware of it, because it's just going to pull you further down the rabbit hole, so to speak. And you don't need that. You're already very capable as is. So if you enjoyed this reading as much as I did, you should consider giving it a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out like you would not believe. Have a beautiful day. I am wishing you the best, especially away from this circumstance. You can have a more speedy path to there. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!